Have you ever noticed that the moment you think about your credit card balance or that student loan, your heart starts racing, your shoulders tense up, and your brain suddenly goes into a fight or flight mode? You aren't just imagining it. Debt stress is a physiological experience that hijacks your nervous system, making it nearly impossible to think clearly about your money. Today, we aren't just talking about interest rates. We are talking about why debt creates a constant, low-level hum of anxiety that ruins your daily life, and how to finally silence that noise. The core reason debt stresses you out is that your brain perceives it as a direct threat to your survival. Evolutionary biology hasn't caught up with modern consumer credit. When you owe money, your primitive brain interprets that negative balance as a lack of resources, triggering a scarcity mindset. This isn't just about feeling bad about spending. It's a deep-seated panic that affects every decision you make. When you live in a state of chronic stress, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. You become reactive rather than proactive, often making impulsive financial choices just to stop the immediate pain of the pressure. This is the debt trap. The more stressed you are, the less effective you become at managing the very thing causing the stress. Understanding that this is a biological response, rather than a personal failing, is the first step toward breaking the cycle. We often treat debt as a spreadsheet problem, but the body keeps the score. High levels of cortisol, the hormone associated with chronic stress, are frequently found in individuals carrying high levels of debt. This hormonal imbalance can lead to sleep disturbances, chronic fatigue, and even high blood pressure. When you are constantly worrying about your debt-to-income ratio, you are essentially living in a state of sustained trauma. This physical burden creates a barrier to productivity, making it even harder to work, earn more money, or execute your financial plans. By ignoring the physical toll, you are ignoring the most important tool you have for financial recovery: your health. Recognizing that your body is signaling a need for change is crucial. Once you acknowledge that your anxiety is a physical response, you can begin to prioritize strategies that lower your baseline stress, such as aggressive budgeting or debt consolidation, which effectively reduce the physical weight you are carrying. Debt carries a heavy social stigma that often forces us to hide our struggles, compounding the stress. We feel ashamed that we aren't where we should be by a certain age, leading to isolation and secrecy. This lack of transparency means you suffer in silence, which only amplifies the anxiety. The pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle, to keep up with peers or societal expectations, creates a disconnect between your reality and your actions. This social dissonance creates a secondary layer of stress that has nothing to do with interest rates and everything to do with self-worth. You feel like your net worth defines your human value, but that is a dangerous fallacy. When you detach your self-esteem from your financial situation, you gain the clarity needed to face your debt objectively. The truth is, most people are struggling, but the silence makes everyone feel like they are the only ones failing. The antidote to debt-induced anxiety is the restoration of control. Panic stems from uncertainty, the feeling that you don't know if you'll have enough to cover the next payment, or if you'll ever be debt-free. You must move from being a victim of your debt to being a strategic operator of your finances. This starts with radical transparency, mapping out every single debt, interest rate, and due date. This might be scary, but it removes the monster in the closet element of the unknown. Once you have a clear picture, you can create a roadmap. Whether you use the avalanche method or the snowball method, having a plan turns an abstract, looming threat into a tangible series of tasks. Every payment made is a win that lowers your cortisol levels and builds momentum. You aren't just paying down numbers. You are buying back your peace of mind and your future freedom. As you move forward, remember that financial progress is not a sprint. It is an endurance sport that requires a steady, consistent mindset. You are not going to eliminate all your stress overnight, and that is okay. The goal is to build systems like automated savings, debt reduction calendars, and emergency funds that act as a buffer against the unexpected. When you have a system, you don't have to rely on willpower or constant worry to manage your money. You can trust the process you've put in place. By shifting your focus from the crushing weight of the past to the incremental gains of the future, You change your relationship with money from one of fear to one of empowerment. You are capable of navigating this, and with every step, you are becoming more resilient. If you're ready to stop the cycle of debt stress and start building a real plan, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join our community on the Daily Yield to gain insights on how to master your budget, optimize your debt-to-income ratio, and take back control of your financial future, because we are building real financial progress, one step at a time.